Casey. Um, just really quick too, for my stuff, we have a Farmers Feeding Utah. We have actually three things happening in November. We're going to do a pint-sized distribution on November 10th to both Richfield and Washington County. We're going to take uh, food to the food pantry, and then in Richfield, we will actually do a pint-size distribution. So those that are the counties are serviced by that warehouse, I'll reach out to you and see if you and your team want to come over and help distribute food. What's going to happen is the semi truck will bring, and it's a limited uh, amount of food for this as well. We have a ton of salami, and we're getting more. I think we can get more every month of different meat products, and it just happens to be salami right now. So they're going to do a salami, apple, and cheese distribution in Richfield, but they'll also stock the pantry in Richfield, and then they'll stock the pantry in St. George, and from there they'll drive back home. So it's just going to be a 1 day. I don't have the times for that yet, but the Richfield one will be before noon, and they're planning to be to St. George by 2 o'clock. St. George will mostly be um, they'll unload the pallets of food and just deliver it into the pantry. So there won't be the same kind of event, but it will be stocking the pantry, which we may want to do some photo ops for that as well. So if you're interested in either one of those, please type that in the chat and I will reach out to you. The other events, there will be one on November 20th and one on November 24th. More details will come. They'll be on the Wasatch Front area. And the 20th one will be, I can't tell you all the details right now, sorry. They want it to go out through a press release. But the one on the 20th will be a smaller one as well. And the 24th will be a pretty big event. But I can't share all those details probably until after tomorrow. So lots of stuff happening with Farmers Feeding Utah. Okay, Liz and Randy, go ahead.
Randy, do you want to start?
Yeah, I can start. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, I need to share my screen. Okay. Okay, so can everyone see here this P-card transaction?
Yep, it looks good.
Perfect. So we just wanted to go over receipt attaching and what needs to be done when a receipt that is Meals and Entertainment is attached. So you'll see here all this top information, of course, automatically will autofill. But when you go to put in the receipt classification, you're going to want to make sure that you're selecting the Meals and Entertainment. And when you do that, we are going to need all these required fields filled out. So you can see that it's going to pop up right here, the Meals and Entertainment details. And all of these fields here, you will need filled out. So I'll just kind of go through this one so you can see what information I would put in. So most of the time, we hopefully have an itemized receipt. If not, you obviously select substitute receipt. Depending on if the receipt's been signed or not, you will select signed or not signed. And then of course, the description of the receipt, so whatever was purchased. You'll want to make sure that you put in the date that the event happened, so the date the food was purchased for. You also want to put the location, the business purpose, and then you do need to put down who attended or who was given the food. So If it's, you know, for example, with the annual conference we just had, if you bought lunch for you and someone else in your county, you need to make sure to list all of your names in this box right here, or whoever it applies to. And then the index should pop up and be hopefully the proper index for the new Create Better Health. If not, just kind of double check that. And then Liz is going to talk a little bit more about account codes, but there is a specific account code that you will need to enter here for anything that is meals and entertainment. So pretty much anything that's going to be classified as meals and entertainment is any food that's purchased for any reason, basically. So
And
that's
sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Liz.
To add on that, we are in a unique position where some of the purchases that are made that are food purchases are not necessarily for meals and entertainment. So if it's something for a video, like you need to get supplies to create a meal that you're going to be doing for video, for advertising, it doesn't need to be classified as meals and entertainment because it's for a different purpose. It's not for the purpose of eating or for a gathering. It's for advertising for Create Better Health. So I know it's a lot of extra work to fill in all those fields, but when it gets to me, they are required. So I either have to guess at what the business purpose is or the event date, or I have to return it for correction. So I know it gets nitpicky, but it's just something that ServiceNow requires us to do.
So that's a question that I want answered for the ambassadors. If they're doing a Facebook Live class and they're teaching a recipe on that class, obviously the attendants are going to be nobody because they're just going to eat it at home, right?
Yeah.
So they're just going to put themselves there.
Mm-hmm.
But what type of description or things do you want it? Do you want it to be very specific so it's all consistent for you?
I think probably the most important information is just what the purpose is, whether like putting in that it's a Create Better Health video and then the method that's going across, whether it's face-to-face, it's a face-to-face class, or whether it's a Zoom chat or it's a video that you're posting on Facebook, whichever method it's going across to the viewers, and then the date would be very helpful. Obviously the event date won't be required since it's for advertising purposes. It's not necessarily for you guys to get together and have a meal. So those meals and entertainment details won't be required. So it's really anything that helps us decide what the purpose is, when it took place, and what the method of communication was.
So in the past, we used to have them say like the Create Better Health, the curriculum that they used, whether it was the youth or the adult curriculum, the date and the location. So you're okay if we keep on telling them to do that?
That's completely fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the main thing is just if you're going to classify it as meals and entertainment, we just need all that information there so that we're not having to come back and ask you guys. And that doesn't happen very often. It's just that when it does, it would just be a simple fix, because obviously it was on our part that we weren't training on those things. And as ServiceNow changes, we want to make sure that we're updating you guys on that information. And the meals and entertainment form is new, so that communication just didn't occur between business services and you guys, so I apologize for that. Another thing, Randy, can you scroll down to the index and account code? So that spot where the account code is, that autofills as operating supplies. And as me and Heidi are reviewing the transactions every month, it's really helpful if we have a good description of what was purchased and an account code that matches that, so that we can review and go, oh, that was registration, we need to move that to a different index. Or, oh, that was memberships and dues, do we want to keep that on that index? Or it's very helpful just when we're reviewing, so that it's a quick connection and we don't need to ask follow-up questions. So we put together a list of account codes that are common for Create Better Health. And it isn't required to put in a different account code, but it is helpful, and it takes away the guessing game for me and Randy, because obviously we're not doing what you guys are doing, and we don't know whether the video that you're creating is for advertising purposes, or whether it's just a video that's occurring between you guys and you ordered a meal for that. So I'm going to share my screen, or sorry, can you enable me to share my screen?
You should be good now, I think.
Okay. So there's just a little list, and I can send that out, or send that to Amalia, who can send that out to you guys. So there's advertising and publicity information that would be used generally for the videos that you guys are creating, so that you can get out your message and that important information. And also for the gift cards for surveys, because really that's the purpose of the gift card, is so that you can get participation and be able to advertise Create Better Health more effectively. And then, so the 713-500, that's computers and any peripherals. So like a computer mouse, or a USB cord, or a printer. So that kind of thing. It's anything that connects to a computer and computer. 710-200 is freight and postage. So if you're shipping anything, that's pretty straightforward. It's just the cost of shipping. 750-300, you guys are completely familiar with that. That's what goes on your travel authorizations if you're traveling from St. George to Logan or anywhere within the state of Utah. The memberships and dues, that's for any, I'm not familiar with what memberships you guys purchase, but sometimes it's hard to figure out the difference between a registration or a membership. Registration is typically like a conference or a one-time event that you're attending. Membership is going to be something that you are receiving benefits from recurring throughout a year, or that subscription period. So membership typically is for a subscription that you are receiving ongoing benefits from. Mileage reimbursement, you guys are also familiar with this with your travel authorizations. If more travel options are not selected other than just that mileage reimbursement, then we prefer you to use this account code. If anything else is selected, like a hotel or a rental car, obviously we'll want to go with the in-state travel, just because it's not only mileage reimbursement that we're going to have you request. But that's something that me and Randy are also watching for. Office supplies, anything general that you're going to be purchasing, like printer paper, pens, pencils. There are a lot of things that fall under this category. Operating supplies is kind of the free-for-all. If nothing else, if what you're purchasing doesn't fit in any of these categories, then go for operating supplies. That's what is defaulted on most of the P cards. So it's automatically going to show up when you pull up your transactions. Out-of-state travel, That's for any travel that's out of state, even if it's going to Idaho or somewhere that's 30 minutes away. Reception and guests, we should always be using this account code if it's for a meals and entertainment purpose. So any meals that you, whenever you do fill out that meals and entertainment section, you'll want to change the account code to the 714500.
Can I just throw something in there real quick?
Yeah.
Just the meals and meals and entertainment is really only going to pertain to those meals that were purchased during annual conference for our ambassadors at the county level. So for all of you thinking, how do I need to use this for like my recipes and stuff? You don't. That's just for those purchases for those meals.
Yes.
It's really the only time you'll ever use that one.
Yes.
Also, Liz, we're really cautious about how many account codes they use. So they should only be doing travel and supplies. That's all, except for we had that one this conference this year to have them go out to eat, and then that's it. So we won't be doing most of all the rest of this stuff.
I see. So that is good to know. So can you just explain to me the purpose behind that?
Yeah, because our grant is set up under just a few account codes. So we got permission from both controllers as well as Josh and Rachel prior to your coming, sorry, and to just have those minimal, so that it's very slick and clean, that this fits under this category in our grant. So therefore that's the expense that it goes under.
That is very good to know.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're all good. Okay.
And they won't be doing the advertising. They won't be doing computers. They do postage. So we will have postage.
Okay.
They'll have in-state travel. No one outside of the state office will have membership. And usually we don't have the membership on our grant anyways.
Okay.
They'll have mileage reimbursement. They will have office supplies and operating supplies. No one but the state office will have out-of-state travel. And then the reception and guests, we will have usually from the state office, but because our annual conference wasn't in person, they had it from the counties. So that's different this year than it ever has been.
Okay.
And that's probably why there was so much confusion, because it was new for them as well.
Got it.
Then registration fees, they won't have that. They won't have software. They won't have speaker gifts.
Okay. So if it's a registration fee, I've seen a few come across. Do you just want that to be operating supplies?
Our state office will have some of those, but the county staff won't.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, I have a quick question on the meals and entertainment. And Casey, this kind of needs to clarify what you were saying. In the past, we always did everything as meals and entertainment because it included food. And now you're saying that we don't need, everything goes under operating supplies?
Yes, it's not necessary just because it's not for the purpose of entertainment.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's I mean, it's up to you guys if you want to keep doing that, but it's just extra work.
Yeah, I say if we don't have to do it, let's change that, because it is extra work.
That's great. I will make note of that in the protocol manual as well.
Perfect.
So can you go back to Randy's screen and go through how they should do it versus like they're buying food for a class, whether the class is face-to-face or in person, and kind of walk them through what they need to do. Otherwise, I think you're going to have a lot more work and a lot more questions come up.
And maybe what we can do too, Liz, is maybe you and I should meet, but I think that's fine if you go through that again. But maybe we should meet to just go over how we've done this, what we want to see. We'll write up the instructions together, and then that's what can be shared out, and as well as you can come on our next call.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm completely open to that. And sorry, I did not realize that that was something that was done previously. So,
Yeah, it's okay. I totally understand. And I understand how it would come up because it's such a different year. So thank you.
do you want to go through one that is classified as meals and entertainment and then one that is not?
That'd
So
be awesome.
I would love to see how you would like it for somebody that buys food and they're going to go teach a Create Better Health class, whether it's in face-to-face or online, because that's what our ambassadors are doing.
Okay.
They're buying some food for a recipe demonstration.
Okay. Randy, will you change the classification to other or none of the above? So the description, I mean, previously you said that it was, what was it previously that you had?
So we used to put it in as meals and entertainment because
Uh-huh.
we dealt with food. And then in the description, we would do CVH, and then we would type in the curriculum we used, whether it was food, fun, and reading or Create Better Health or whichever curriculum they were using.
Okay.
The date and the location of where they taught. So there it would say either Facebook Live or I went to Switchpoint Food Pantry.
And that's perfect.
Okay.
We don't need any additional information than that. I don't feel like we got anything from the additional meals and entertainment fields. So that's really, that's the meat of the information. That's all we need to know to figure out what the purpose is for.
Okay, perfect. And then would you like them to obviously attach the receipt, and they could even attach the roll if it was a face-to-face class so that you could see who attended?
Yes, that would be great. That would be perfect.
And at one point we had them even attach a recipe if it was, so you knew what they were for.
I'm glad you brought that up because I think that's really good proof to the controller's office that it is not meals and entertainment. Because if you're attaching the receipt, you're saying, hey, this is exactly what those ingredients went into. It's a recipe for our class that we're teaching with. That's not something that we're eating. So that's a great point.
Okay.
Yeah, and also Liz, so through audits that we've had both federally and state, they like having the roll and the recipe
Perfect.
as much as we can.
Okay.
Not to mention, then you get great dinner ideas while you're going through them.
Exactly. Always need more of those.
Okay, so we can do none of the above and just take out that and just attach those documentations, put the description as we had it before, the Create Better Health, the curriculum, the date and the location, attach the roll, the receipt, and the recipe.
Yes.
Woohoo! Got it.
So that really the only thing that's changing is the receipt classification from meals and entertainment to none of the above.
Yeah.
And that also removes the need to list who participated and ate the food, which is, that was a big obstacle for an online class.
Yes, but she still wants us to include those things if we have them, like the recipe, and if we have attendance, the role.
And if you're
for online participants.
Yeah, because we're not giving out food right now, and if you make it for anything right now, it should explain that it's a demonstration, whether it's online or in the classroom, but we're not doing food.
Right. And right, Sarah, there won't be any available roles for Facebook, but you're going to put that as your location that you did a Facebook Live or a Zoom class so that they know where it was at.
Very good. Exactly. Those are perfect. Other questions that you guys have?
Index, oh no, the account number, do you want us to leave that as 712900 as operating supplies?
Yes.
Or is that the question that we're having? You guys are going to figure that out and let us know.
So sorry, I got distracted by the comments. So I think probably leaving it as the 712900, unless it is a meals and entertainment. I think that would be the easiest way to go. Because if it is a meal, like for the Create Better Health Conference, then that's straightforward. That would be changed to the 714500 account code. So I think that's probably the most straightforward for the ambassadors. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Just keep it as that. Okay, everybody, we'll update the couple of changes, but for the most part, the step-by-step instructions are on page 230 in the protocol manual. There's been minimal changes, but we will get those updated.
Okay. So one last thing is we just want to reiterate that the 5 things that are required for a receipt to be considered itemized are needed if you aren't going to do a substitute receipt. So those things are the supplier or the name of the vendor, the date that the item was purchased, the amount. It does need to be itemized. It can't just give a total. And then it needs to imply payment or give the payment information. And if any of those are not present, then under that receipt type, there is an option to do a substitute receipt. And Randy's showing that to you right now. And you'll just give an explanation of why it's not itemized or why the receipt is missing. And then that missing information, you'll just put that in the substitute receipts, either the transaction information or the item description. Are there any questions on that part?
I think it sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks for this.
Yeah, thank you for letting us crash your party. We appreciate it.
Well, always clarification's good, so thank you. And I think Christy's going to be reaching out for the detailed instructions to put in the protocol manual, because we definitely want it to come from your office. So thank you for that.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, Amalia, will you share the agenda again? All right, we're down to Lacey.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to express thanks for everyone who signed up and joined the trainers and I for the PSE meetings. I've really enjoyed learning about your great plans for this upcoming year and excited to see how things move forward. A reminder to just reach out to me if you have questions as you're moving in with your plans. A reminder also that working, if it's possible, with some of the pantries and other places, if you can get your baseline or at least start planning to do those baseline assessments, that would be great. And then also, for those who haven't signed up yet, there's just a couple of counties. Please reach out to me and let me know, and we can find a time that will work for all of us. Also, I did add to the chat, just so you're aware, the counties that are served by those warehouse pantries. there are actually quite a few in just regards to the Farmers Feeding Utah event that Heidi shared earlier. And that's what I have.
Thanks, Lacey. Yeah, we would love to have those that can help at the specifically the Richfield one come. I will get you more details as I said earlier. And let's move to Christy.
So I just wanted to give a shout out to those that were able to jump on to the in-service meeting. We had a great attendance. The recording for that went out on Friday. So if you missed that and you wanted to participate in this course, please watch the recorded version. And then if you would please fill out the Google form so that I have a list of those that are wanting to participate in the discussions. I will be sending out, or Amalia will be sending out calendar invitations for Friday at 10 a.m. this week on November 6th for the first discussion to talk about the first and second module in the Power Pay Money Management course. So just mark that on your calendar and we'll get the invite out as soon as we can. I was just waiting for the most complete list. So the recording went out on Friday along with all of the links that you'll need to register for that. So if you have any questions, send me an email. Thanks.
Thanks, Christy. Okay, Marcia.
Amalia, can I share my screen? Thank you. All right, employee wellness. We decided every month we're gonna do like a little mini drawing and then we'll have the big drawings at the end. So I have everybody's name in there that commented that they had done their preventative appointment. Also just a heads up that November, yeah, it is November. Ooh, November is National Sleep Month. So the challenge this month is to do something to improve your sleep hygiene, whether that's, you know, setting a bedtime routine that's better or improving your room, whatever it might be. Work on that for a little while and then comment or reply to my email and you'll get entered into that drawing. So we're gonna do the drawing. And here we go. Ooh, last tip. Cindy, you're our winner. You can expect a little prize in the mail. Will you just email myself your mailing address just to make sure we get it to the right place?
Yeah, will do, of course.
Thank you. All right. Just a reminder, put your name into the chat for the role. We have some new ambassadors on the call today, and we are having a lot more ambassadors coming on. So we will welcome you guys. I see Annabelle on. She's a new one in Utah County. And
Casey's also on.
Yeah, Annabelle and Casey from Utah County.
Oh yeah, Casey, that was the other one. So both of them are on Utah County, so welcome. We're excited to meet you. And we've got some more coming, a couple in, or one in Iron County and a couple in Garfield have been coming on. So we've got a lot of new people, so reach out to them, tell them hello on the Facebook page, and we're excited to have y'all.
Thanks, Marcia. Jocelyn?
Hey, thanks. I just want to remind everybody, since it's only once a month that you put your Facebook reporting in, that we're back on, and to go in and report October's county Facebook reach. And instructions are on the website in both written form and in video form. And I would really appreciate if you'd be very explicit in how you write things out so they all match. That would be great. We've kind of worked out all the kinks, so if you have any questions, please consult the instructions, written or verbal, or the video, or shoot me an email. I'd be happy to look at it with you. Also, along that same vein, you may recall last time we met, I was talking about how Facebook is migrating to a new layout on the computer. When you go to the Facebook app on your phone, it's still the same, but now the Facebook URL on a website is looking a little bit different. It's looking more like your phone. And along with those changes and that migration to a more modern look, the videos are being housed in what's called the Creator Studio. And that is going to make reporting our online classes so much easier. So Facebook reporting for your page hasn't changed, is good. But your reporting for these online classes now, since they're a video, it's going to generate a report. And so I will be sending out these instructions. I'm going to talk to Casey about what she would like to see. And then we're going to send out this week, I will send out this week, instructions on how to report your classes in pairs, because it's new and improved. It'll give you a report now, and it'll look a lot like when you do your page reporting. So this is one shift that will make your life easier. So happy day. And then, as always, I want to remind you to send out Ambassadors in Action photos. So that's it.
Jocelyn, Christy and Marcia, could you do some introductions of the new employees?
Sure. Like, would you like him to? What would you like to see? So we've got Annabelle Morales and Casey Williams in Utah County. So Annabelle, do you want to just say hi so people can identify who you are?
Hi, I'm Annabelle Morales. I am from Chihuahua, Mexico, and I'm so excited to start and learn a lot with you.
Okay, thanks, Annabelle.
Thank you.
And our other ambassador in Utah is Casey Williams. And I'm not sure if she's a mom and has little kids. There she is. Like, I don't know if she's ready to show her camera. I'm not always ready, camera ready, so it's okay.
I don't even know what you're seeing right now, but hopefully it's okay. But yeah, I'm Casey and I live in Santa Clara and I'm excited to start too.
Awesome, welcome.
And my new ambassadors are not on yet. So we've got Morgan in Iron County and Myra in Iron County as well. And then I just got notice of a couple Garfield ones that are getting hired, so they're not on yet. But we'll welcome them when we see them next time.
Maybe Christina, do you want to just say hi to the group? I'm not sure. I know we just ran through introductions really quickly, but during conference. But Christina is also new and started in Summit the week of annual conference.
Yeah, hi. Christina? Yeah, I'm Christina. Yeah, I'm in Summit. Really excited to get most of my training done. Yay. So I'm almost ready to get out there. So I'm excited. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for being on and sharing again. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to go to county sharing. We'll start with Cash. These are sharing from the county programming plans from conference. So Cash.
Hello everyone, it's Jenna from Cash. I'll just share briefly what we came up with when we were brainstorming. So indirect education, we want to keep working with our Facebook pages, both English and Spanish, to increase activity on those and work on an Instagram as well. We liked the idea from last week about the turkey talk and want to use that for English and Spanish, and then also do food, fun, and reading newsletters for libraries. And then for the PSE, we had a lot of good ideas when we met with Lacey. But we want to continue our community gardens and buy produce for your neighbor in the summer months. We want to work with the food pantry. Since right now people can't come into it, we want to maybe look at doing recipe bags of things that they have a lot of, and then doing some sort of like QR code where they can scan it and watch a video of how to make the recipe. And then for adult direct education, we want to reach out to some of the partnerships we have in the community and promote online classes to help getting those Zoom classes out there, couple of ambassadors, both English and Spanish, are going to work on that. And then for youth direct education, the ambassadors want to reach out to schools and teach there if possible, if they're comfortable with that, or after school programs as well, trying to just get into the schools. And then lastly, for partnerships, we talked a lot about a lot of different partnerships that we want to increase our communication with, so we can, once the restrictions are lessened, we can do things with them. So trying to do indirect education from the partnerships to help hopefully increase direct education. So that's just a quick summary.
Thank you, Cash. All right, Iron County, do you want to share today?
Not really.
Do you want to wait till your ambassadors are on as well, Kathy? Or
I can just let you know that Myra just received her permission to start doing the trainings, and I don't think she's gotten to the point where she's familiar with the email and the Zoom meetings yet. And anyway, so please excuse her. And I thought Morgan would be on today. She and I met with Lacey, and who did we meet with? Marcia. Gosh, is it Monday or what? Anyway, and appreciated the time to talk through some things and get ready to set some goals. But we're just in this little tiny holding pattern. But we hope by next time we will be going fast forwarding and accomplishing a lot of great things. So appreciate your patience.
thanks, Kathy. We're excited about the new things that are happening in your county. Okay, Kane County.
All right, so most of ours are pretty similar from what they've been in the past, but just a little more in depth. So for our indirect, my goal is to continue with the county-based blog I've been working on, doing a post weekly, and then 2 Facebook posts, one from the post that I've done, and then one from someone else's social media, like Captain Creates, or the one that Candy does. I can't think off the top of my head what it's called right now. For social marketing, I'm still working with the grocery stores, so I'm going to use that. And I've been working with the grocery store owner right now to come up with a way that we could assess people coming through. We are kind of collaborating on some ideas there to see what the reach is and some of the outcomes. Partnerships, I'm going to reach out to the other grocery stores in our county and hopefully get a PSE going in there, which is also my PSE goal, is to get into all the grocery stores and to reach out to some of the other schools. There's some that are like 7 hours away that I obviously don't teach at. But I'm hoping to do some of my online classes there. So I'm going to reach out to them and hopefully form some partnerships. Youth indirect, same thing, doing online right now, continuing to record classes and reaching out to those schools I'm not in yet. And then hopefully in 2021, I can start doing some face-to-face stuff if that's still allowed. And then for adult education, I've done some work with our coalition to do like a healthy living challenge, but we're kind of at a standstill right now. Our coalition leader just left, so at the health department. So I'm going to try to get in at the high school and do some adult curriculum there. And then when we're allowed to teach adults again, the senior center has asked that I teach some classes there. So lots of things in the works. As I'm writing it all out, I realize I'm in a lot of different places, and also good seeing it written down to see other places that I can reach out to. So excited for 2021 and all that that's going to bring.
Thank you. Millard County.
Okay, I've got under policy assistance and environment, I want to do a giving event calendar for coming up for December, where we ask people to donate instead of taking something, counting down for the days of Christmas, they donate something to the food pantry, just put it in a box, and then we'll have them to bring the boxes to the food pantries in January. We want to also do share produce with your neighbor and grow, or maybe even call it grow a roll to share. So they're donating produce from their gardens also to the food pantries for next summer. Fillmore Elementary has their garden that we want to get going. Eva's got a grant on that, and I will be helping her to take care of that and harvest the food and share that with the food pantry. Also, if Delta North Elementary wants me to help, I'll go back and help with their garden. For indirect education, I want to continue to share on the media post, and sorry, I'm trying to read my stuff, and Captain Create information, and also the Spanish Create Better Health on the online. We also have a county newsletter that I post in whenever we put it out, which is, it used to be every other month, and then they went this summer to once a month. So it's just whenever they need to have information put out, I'll put information in there. I also will give out letters to preschool parents with classes I'm teaching in the schools as indirect information, and I'm doing the food bag and recipes with a link to a video for a food pantry so that they can make the recipes at home. And we're trying to encourage them to use more beans, because when we did a survey, or the food pantry did a survey, they found that only 1/4 of the people were using their beans. We want to encourage them to use them more, and encourage that to be used. Give out any information that is requested for people to call in, and to continue to share on the social media information. I didn't have anything down for social marketing, but we would like to continue, like when we start to do the Fillmore Elementary school program with the community garden, put it on the billboards and things in the community, and post it to Facebook so people are aware of that. As far as partnerships, I will continue to do the elementary schools with a Miller School District, Delta and Fillmore Library with food, fun, and reading, or if the culture's out, have that in the summertime. Continue to work with Central Utah Food Sharing, and we want to get back into when we're allowed to teach direct to Central Utah Counseling Center, and maybe even do the possible Zoom classes with them. Our youth education right now, I'm in the schools with Delta North, Delta South, and Fillmore Elementary. We've been teaching food, fun, and reading, and the Captain Creating materials to them, curriculum to them. And then I'll continue to help Eva with the after-school program with the community garden over in Fillmore Elementary as youth programming. And adult education, I found I didn't have too many people filling out the surveys online, but I will host one adult class online, which is just a recorded Facebook class. And then again, maybe get in with the mental health with the Zoom classes, if I can find the time to get that in there. So that's my goals for this year.
Awesome. You are all doing such amazing things. Thank you. All right. Are we sharing? We're almost out of time. So are these others supposed to be shared as well for today?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. We'll just do until we can't do any more. So we'll start at Salt Lake.
Okay, some of this I mentioned actually during conference when I was talking about Lacey's PSC meetings, but so I'll just briefly talk about those. One thing we're going to try to do this year is really strengthen our partnerships. It's always been a strength in Salt Lake, but they have fallen by the wayside thanks to COVID. So one thing we decided we're going to do is just spend 15 minutes a day reading and supporting partnerships on Facebook and Instagram. So, just set a timer, 15 minutes, kind of looking at what they're doing, commenting, liking, maybe sharing, so that we can get back into what they're doing. And then that's just a little piece, but we'll be working on that and trying to reach out to them. Although we have, it's hard right now with people not working from their offices and such, but that's one thing we're going to do. Another idea that we heard from some of you, I think, over the annual conference that we love the idea of is working with grocery stores to support like another community or another food pantry. So we're going to be working with a Harmon's well, we want to, we're going to be reaching out to them to work with the Harmon's grocery store that's close to a food pantry and do a couple of healthy food drives with them is our goal. Nicole's going to be working at some thumbs up locations for Latino markets in the area. The Salt Lake County Health Department has started doing some of those, but they don't speak Spanish. I think they'll be happy to have somebody like Nicole that can speak Spanish to help with that. Really like the idea too of the mini smarter lunchroom ideas, where instead of getting a whole school like enrolled and through the whole process, we can just take some of those activities like the vegetable tasting or something like that. And we think some of our schools might be more open to that rather than feeling like they're committing for a whole school year to change 30 things or more or something like that. So we're going to try approaching smarter lunchrooms that way as well. We have an idea to work with our food pantries that we already have relationships with and kind of get this little like food pantry coalition going where we can share food, share healthy foods, and redistribute that as needed. For direct education, this is a real challenge right now, especially in Salt Lake. I mean, I know it is everywhere, but I feel like especially a lot of communities and community centers have shut down, and they voiced to us that they don't feel like they even have an easy way to get a hold of their people other than in person. So we do have one center though that we've been with for a few years. It's a community center at an elementary school where the parents are used to coming in every morning for a certain amount of time, usually about an hour or so for different types of classes and community stuff that they do together. So they're meeting together, but we've been teaching them virtually for a couple weeks now. So that will continue at least through a series. And hopefully that will go well and will open up to other groups that we used to be in person with as well. We just got approval to be at an after-school youth group, and that should be starting fairly soon as well. And then Caitlin has some Zoom live classes scheduled right now, and we hope to start some with kind of a big kickoff in January. And then we decided after hearing everybody's awesome successes with Facebook in their counties that we would start our own. And the only reason we didn't in the past years was Salt Lake County Extension had their own page, and they kind of wanted us to be a part of that. And most of our time was spent teaching classes. We didn't really feel like we had the time to commit to making a new page, and now we do. So Caitlin got a new page up just for Create Better Health in Salt Lake County. Nicole earlier this year got one up in Espanol. So we now have 2 county pages and are looking forward to promoting that to our target audience and maybe through our newsletters and our classes, and maybe have some little contests with some county funds and supplies that I have not related to Create Better Health monies, but maybe to get some people to come to our page and start following it. So in a nutshell, that's some of the activities we're looking forward to doing the next couple months.
Thank you. Brittany just reminded, and it wasn't on the agenda, sorry. Amalia, will you please add on the agenda that to have Brittany and Amberly share on uploading virtual classes?
Yep, I'll do that.
Okay, do Brittany and Amberly, you probably don't have time to do that in 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, no, I just did a little slideshow presentation to show and then to send out so people could do it step by step, but I'm fine to do it whenever.
Okay, we'll do it at the next one, sorry, and we'll put you at the top of the agenda. That would be great. So we don't, San Juan, do you guys want to share real quick in the next 2 minutes, or you know what? We're gonna just cut it off right now because that won't give you enough time to share in 2 minutes. So next time we'll go from San Juan down to Weber to share your county programming plans, and then we'll do the social media ones that are below too. So thank you everyone for being on. We appreciate your time and patience. We'll get you those instructions on the finance stuff. It sounds like it will be a little bit more streamlined, so that will be awesome and good. And we hope you have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.